Hello everyone, and welcome to another playthrough by a blind man. Today I've got for you Soul Reaver. This is the second game in the Legacy of Kain series. If you would like to watch the first game, that Let's Play is already on my channel. I'm creating one playlist for all the Legacy of Kain games, so as I go through them, you'll be able to watch them all in order at your leisure. And if you like this video, be sure to give the video a like, watch the entire video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, get chatting with me, and turn on notifications so you can keep up to date with all my Soul Reaver content. Now let's go ahead and get started. And no sheep sounds in the intro this time.
Kain is deified. The clans tell tales of him. Few know the truth. He was mortal once, as were we all. However, his contempt for humanity drove him to create me and my brethren. I am Raziel, firstborn of his lieutenants. I stood with Kain and my brethren at the dawn of the Empire. I have served him a millennium. Over time, we became less human and more divine. Kain would enter the state of change and emerge with a new gift. Some years after the Master, our evolution would follow, until I had the honor of surpassing my lord. For my transgression, I earned a new kind of reward. Agony. There was only one possible outcome. My eternal damnation. I, Raziel, was to suffer the fate of traitors and weaklings, to burn forever in the bowels of the lake of the dead. Cast him in. Tumbling, burning with white-hot fire, I plunged into the depths of the abyss. Unspeakable pain, relentless agony. Time ceased to exist. Only this torture and a deepening hatred of the hypocrisy that damned me to this hell. An eternity passed, and my torment receded, bringing me back from the precipice of madness. The descent had destroyed me, and yet I lived.
Raziel, you are worthy. I know you, Raziel. You are worthy.
What madness is this? What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Raziel. I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice is not yours.
I am destroyed.
You are reborn. The birth of one of Kain's abominations traps the essence of life. It is this soul that animates the corpse you lived in. And that, Raziel, is the demise of Nosgoth. There is no balance. The souls of the dead remain trapped. I cannot spin them in the wheel of fate. They cannot complete their destinies. Redeem yourself. Or if you prefer, avenge yourself. Settle your dispute with Kain. Destroy him and your brethren. Free their souls and let the wheel of fate churn again. Use your hatred to reave their souls. I can make it possible. Become my Soul Reaver, my angel of death.
Angel of Death, huh? That's a pretty decent Slayer song, actually. And that guy sounds strangely like Mortanius. What's that about?
These gates twist space, laying a path across great spans.
Yeah, these work as our fast travel points. Annoyingly, every time you save your game, anytime you quit your game, you start off back where we started the game off, and you can teleport to one of these points as you unlock them. It's a stupid save system. It would have been nice if they added some kind of a quick save system. But this being a remaster, I don't think they could have completely changed the way the game works. Then again, I don't know, maybe they could.
You are weak. You must feed.
The old hunger has left me. I have no desire for blood.
You are changed. Your bloodthirst is replaced by a deeper need. You have become a devourer of souls. To sustain your strength, you must hunt the lost spirits of the underworld and consume the souls of your enemies.
As for me, I'm just a devourer of pizza. And donuts. What can I say? I'm an American-sized gentleman. And American-sized gentlemen like pizza and donuts. I could go into a bit on what all of these souls taste like, but that's just going to make me hungrier than I already am. So I'm not going to bother. Actually, I'm not too bad right now. I had tacos earlier. And a smoothie. I remember when I was playing these games originally, I remember the friend I was playing these with could not stand the fact that it took me a while to figure out how to properly glide.
Your wings, though ruined, are not without purpose. Take hold of them as you leap, and they will carry you across this chasm.
Speaking of gliding, guess what we get to do right now? Glide! Success. Onwards and upwards, Razzie.
What scabrous wretches are these?
Stua, the scavengers of the underworld. Their feral hunger has claimed countless souls, spirits who now shall never find their rest.
Well, that means it's up to Razzie the Raspberry to go ahead and put them to rest. I played this intro several times. At least once when I originally recorded the game, probably a few more times then, plus a couple of times testing this out and for the recordings. This is hands down the easiest time I had with this section. Usually they just run away from you, so it takes forever to chase them down. It would have made more sense for them to actually try fighting you. That's gonna happen a lot. I try to cut it in the future. Me trying to do one thing and bringing up the map by mistake. I'm not sure why they added that map to this remaster, but it's annoying. And a waste of a button that could be used for something better. Hey, what's this?
These portals are your conduit between the spectral and material realms. With their aid, you may gather matter and will yourself to become manifest in the physical world. This is taxing, however. Your strength must first be fully restored. You require no conduit to return to this plane. You may abandon your physical body at any time.
And that's an explanation of this game mechanic. They do a decent job of trying to explain this mechanic. It takes me a minute to get on the right spot here to go ahead and do this. I'll get there in a second.
Sustain your strength to prolong your manifestation in the physical world. If you fail to feed or absorb too many wounds, this fragile matter will dissolve.
They start to do a better job of explaining game mechanics and making them feel like part of the world in Soul Reaver 2, but they don't do a bad job in this one. Here I'm just looking around trying to figure out where the hell I need to go. I played this stuff back in August. What you guys heard before was recorded on my birthday, but I decided to redo the rest of that commentary.
You are young yet, Raziel. You still retain many of your vampiric weaknesses. Immersion in water, while not fatal, will dissolve your physical body, forcing your return to the spirit world. Be aware that in the spectral realm, water has neither heft nor lift. It stands as thin as air.
I do like that line. So this first video, we get a ton of game tips or explanations of game mechanics. But that is one thing they do well in these games is dialogue.
What are these creatures?
Do you not recognize them? They are the children of your brother, Duma.
That's impossible. These foul, scuttling beasts could not be kin of our high blood?
Do you suppose that time stood still for you, Raziel? Much has changed since you passed from the world of men.
Yeah, somebody's a bit arrogant.
I knew my opponent's weaknesses, having suffered them myself. Physical wounds are fleeting. A vampire's immortal flesh begins to close as soon as it is cleaved. Vampires need only fear those wounds that impale or inflame. Water scorches like acid, and fledglings are devastated by sunlight's touch. I would have to modify my tactics to suit my foes.
So, spikes, sunlight, fire, and water, basically.
Unfettered from the flesh, a creature's soul fades swiftly into the spectral realm. Draw it in quickly, Raziel, or you will be compelled to follow.
Yep, so thanks Elder God, that's that character's name. It's never said in-game, but he gets known as the Elder God in the Legacy of Kain fandom. Yeah, this gets annoying. These souls take forever to come to you. And we should still have one more dude to deal with. I hear him. Come on, buddy. Gonna introduce you to Razzie the Raspberry. Yeah! Well, if he would throw him in the proper direction, that would be great. There we go. Now, if you would give me a soul. I hear it. No luck, I guess.
Your physical prowess surpasses what you knew in life. Even massive obstacles can be moved effortlessly.
Yeah, so this is something God of War did not do great at. Neither did Tomb Raider. Block pushing. But this is one of those things they needed to nail in this game. And while I don't know if they necessarily nailed it, they made it at least somewhat tolerable. There will be a lot of block pushing in this game. But at least Raziel can actually move these things fairly well. Most any other block pushing I've seen in a game does not move that smoothly. until you get to God of War 3.
My God! The sanctuary of the clans reduced to ruin. Beyond these walls lay the pillars of Nosgoth, the seat of Kain's empire. How humble it now appeared, collapsing into the dust of its former magnificence. And yet, I had only just emerged. In the instant between my execution and resurrection, centuries had apparently passed.
This world is wrecked with cataclysms. The earth strains to shrug off the pestilence of Kain's parasitic empire. The fate of this world was preordained in an instant by a solitary man. Unwilling to martyr himself to restore Nosgoth's balance, Kain condemned the world to the decay you see. In that moment, the unraveling began. Now it is nearly played out. Nosgoth teeters on the brink of collapse. Its fragile balance cannot hold.
There's a lot I want to talk about with that cutscene, but first, it would be a good idea to explain. If you have not seen Blood Omen, we ended that game with Kain essentially deciding to start an empire. And as you can see with the combat, you have light attacks, and then you have a heavy attack, which you can use as a finisher. You saw what the torch does? Now you're gonna see what this thing does. And you'll see this a lot this video. Come on, stop dancing around. This isn't a dance party. Haha! So at the end of Blood Omen, Kain decided to create an empire, and Raziel was one of his generals. I think he was the number 2 guy right behind Kain. You'll notice Raziel is going to make a lot of assumptions in this series. One big one being why Kain did what he did to Raziel. If you pay close attention, you notice the Elder God is taking a lot of credit for bringing Raziel out of that state, sparing him from the abyss and whatnot. But we have no confirmation that that's what happened. I'm not going to spoil anything for this series. We'll get that all as we go through the games. And whenever you find one of these rooms, activate that symbol and you're good. Also, you're going to notice in these games, Raziel, he likes to throw himself quite a few pity parties. And each time I hit one of these, I consider stopping the video. That's why sometimes you'll see jump cuts and whatnot in there. And we're gonna hit a point where I actually re-recorded a few sections for this video as well, in addition to redoing the commentary. What can I say? I wanted commentary recorded on my birthday. I like doing that every year, but then again, I have other playthroughs that were done that are probably going to be re-recorded.
This, at least, had remained constant. The endlessly swirling vortex of the abyss, my tomb, and the womb of my rebirth. Though much of Nosgoth's landscape had changed, these cliffs gave me my bearings. My clan territory was to the west. I was anxious to see how my descendants had fared during the centuries of my absence.
All right, and that gives us our first direction. I guess it kind of makes sense. But you'll notice Raziel is going to throw himself quite a few pity parties along the way. Keep in mind, Raziel was one of Kain's lieutenants. Again, this isn't spoiling anything. This is stuff we know from that opening cutscene. And we get this awesome music. Love it. The music in this game is amazing. The music in Soul Reaver 2 is also really good. Defiance all we get is remixes of past Legacy of Kain music, which isn't necessarily a bad thing since it's the finale. Oh hell. This is our first trap area. I feel like we might have had a few of these in Blood Omen, but I can't remember. We're in 3D now, bitch. Fuck you. So Raziel was a vampire, one of the biggest dick cheese vampires in the ruling class. Raziel's doing this whole pity party thing, not even bothering to think about all the people he killed in the centuries that he was a vampire. Not giving a fuck about any of that. It's all about him. So keep all of that in mind. If you feel bad for Raziel for anything that he's going through right now, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but keep that in mind.
Utter desolation. My once proud kin wiped from this world like excrement from a boot. I knew the hand that wrought this deed.
Oh yeah. Just keep that in mind that he's probably killed thousands of people in the time that he was a vampire. So he's not completely sympathetic. And that's not saying I don't like Raziel, because I do. He's a good character. I'm just saying you gotta keep proper context. And I did not intend to fall down here. Actually, maybe I did, because I would want to get the souls in these games. Not that this is going to matter, because we are about to be on my re-recorded footage here coming up in a bit. That line about excrement from a boot is one of my favorite lines in video games. It's definitely the standout line from this game and from the series. And there's a ton of good dialogue. So that's really saying something. I like how they make each of these paths a little different, just to change it up. The next one's actually kind of annoying, but oh well. And again, I wasn't sure if I was ending the video here, but I'm not. Yeah, the next one's gonna have this annoying spiral staircase, and it has 2 doors, which confused me when I went to continue playing, and I couldn't figure out which door to get out of. So apparently some of these have 2 different doors. That is definitely something I did not remember about this game. It's going to be the same door each time you're going to naturally come across, but it is interesting that the next one of those gate rooms is essentially going to lead us to the next area we need to go to. I guess that's the dev's way of making you stop at one of these gate rooms so that you don't lose progress if you stop the game and haven't activated anything yet. And now we are on my re-record, which I did while a bit intoxicated a couple days ago. Come on. For the most part, this goes way better than my first attempt at doing this. Even though I was intoxicated, whiskey and soda, always my favorite. Particularly Crown, but I would like to branch out and get some different types of whiskey. But that's my favorite. Damn it, get over here. I got things to do here. Not mess with your smelly ass. It is kind of interesting, that whole idea of what happens to creatures as they evolve. We've seen these vampires reduced to these kind of wretched forms, almost zombie-like. Oh yes, and that fire, you can use it to kill enemies, but since I have a weapon, I don't need to worry about that. This first area does give you a decent amount of ways of dealing with enemies. I feel like that topic has more that I could go into, but I'm not really thinking of anything off the top of my head. Just that I think it's interesting showing vampires devolving into these creatures, essentially with no soul. Well, no, I guess that's not true because we're taking their souls. Well, no consciousness anyways. Yeah, that map is going to just keep happening the whole playthrough, more than likely. I really don't like it. I was cursing its existence when I was doing this replay. Because I don't know how helpful it is. Granted, I haven't tried messing with it, so I don't know if you can zoom in or if there are markers or anything like that, but yeah, I'm not a fan. Or at the very least, I'd rather you just access it through a menu. So what's interesting here is we're getting music like we're entering one of those gate rooms, but we're not. So I'm not sure why we're getting that music here. And that's in the original. That's not just the remaster. And now we're going to get another one of my favorite tracks for Melchiah's area. We'll probably meet him next video.
No! Please!
I didn't recognize these flayed racks of flesh. Their scent was vampiric. They gnawed upon their victim's carcass like dogs.
Well, we get to deal with them now. So what you can do is head straight for the door and leave. That's what I wanted to do, but I can't see the door. Annoyingly. I am visually impaired. Don't think I've said that to this point. So that is an issue. I was trying to find the door, and then I realized if I'm going to find the door, I need to deal with these enemies so that I can do that. I'm not happy about it because I just wanted to save some time. Because we're not too far away from where I'm going to end the video. We still got a little bit to go, but not too much. Damn it, I want my soul. It's mine. I earned it by killing. I'm probably going to cheat in the magic abilities you can get in this game. I'm not showing everything in this Let's Play. That is because I'm basically going for a story run. I might come back and show all the health upgrade objects you can pick up, but that would just be clips of me picking them up. This is not a 100% run, at least not in terms of a Let's Play, because you have to do a lot of block puzzles to get the different magic abilities, and I don't want to do it because there's enough block puzzles already.
This charnel house bore the unmistakable marks of Melchiah's clan. To what depths had our dynasty plummeted if these ghouls were the descendants of my high-born brother? Were they so debased as to recruit fledglings from the desiccated corpses here interred?
So one reason I wanted to replay this part is because there is a vampire hunter somewhere in this area, and if you kill him, humans will be aggressive towards you. If you let him live, they will treat you like a god. I'm not sure if I'm going to show that because the human city is an area you don't have to go to. I will to get any health pickups I need, but I might not show that because of, like I said before, I'm trying to do mostly a story run. And in my original attempt at recording this, I killed the guy because I was low on health. So I needed to correct that mistake. One thing I like about this music is it's pretty unique. I can't think of another game with a music style like this.
My brother Melchiah was made last, and therefore received the poorest portion of Kain's gift. Although immortal, his soul could not sustain the flesh, which retained much of its previous human frailty. This weakness, it seemed, was passed on to his offspring. Their fragile skins barely contained the underlying decay.
Right, and the enemies in this area I'm not going to fight. There will be some up here I'm going to have to fight, but the ones down there I'm not bothering with. Just to save time. You don't have to fight everything in these games. If I can pass by something, I definitely will. Now here I could have passed by these guys, except again, I didn't know where the door was. And I didn't want them messing with me while I tried to find it. Bro, you don't even know, all right? You don't even know who you're messing with. And occasionally you get those little holes in the ceiling that let in sunlight, which is pretty nice. I'm guessing the sun just doesn't shine too much in this world. Maybe that's a break in... Well, in this area, I'm assuming a break in the ceiling, but I don't know if most of the sky is covered in clouds or why the sun doesn't shine. Something else cool, I like how Raziel in this remaster, they gave more of a Defiance appearance, trying to give some continuity to the way Raziel looks. And this is the one that was kind of annoying, this spiral staircase. It looks kind of cool, but with the camera being the way it is, it's annoying to try to traverse. All right, that's another gate room opened. And that's going to be it for this video. I think you might be able to save these weapons. I'm not 100% on that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time with more Soul Reaver. Sexy Remastered Edition.